A land of innocence has no need for gods. Until fate intervenes.
Keep away from the water!
Stop!
When people pray, a god is always born.
Help! Someone help us!
Child!
We call
Please,
to the
hear
heavens!
us!
Able to change eternity. That god is you. Are you a blessing or a curse? Good or evil? Be what you will, you are destiny.
You've saved our boy! Thank you. Thank you for your mercy.
We praise you! Greetings. We're your conscience. Good and evil. Yin and yang. Black and white. As part of you, we'll guide you through this world.
Our people will want to worship you. Please come with us to our village.
I'll show you how to follow them. How to move. Let's see. You move your hand in the direction you want to travel like this. Then you click and hold the move button. After that, you move the mouse towards you to drag forwards or push away to move backwards. You click, hold and pull again to cover more ground. Follow your new worshippers to the village. You'll have to grab the landscape several times.
Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen. Wanted to keep quiet over that introduction just to keep the atmosphere in. I think I went a little bit too long with the quietness because now we've walked straight into the tutorial here. Of which I know absolutely everything of how to move. As you can see, you move exactly how your good conscience tells you. You also get an introduction to those two conscious guys as well. They'll be with you throughout the entire game. They're literally part of you. Right now what we're just doing is we're walking down or dragging the world past us to get to the end of this little pathway here. And you can see through the trees there's something interesting over there.
Over here, keep going.
Yes, I know. I'm actually ahead of you girls, so don't worry about that.
Your arrival was foretold. The prophecy has come true.
Oh, sweet. Looks like they're dancing around a lion head of some kind. And of course, now we're introduced to our temple.
Move to the temple by clicking and dragging, or double-click the move button on it to go straight there.
Alright, double-click straight onto the temple, and we're going to get some more cutscenage coming on here. Cutscenes are pretty heavy here, but they're not too frustrating, at least in my opinion.
We could help them complete it. Yeah, when it's finished, this temple will be the focus of our power.
Sweet.
But now it's time to learn how to look around. You move the hand to the side of the screen until the rotate arrow appears like this. You hold down the move button. Then you move the hand in a circular motion to rotate around and see things from a different angle. You can rotate either way.
Of course, this method is actually ineffective if you have a mouse wheel.
You can also use the keyboard to rotate.
I never use the
Now
keyboard to
you
move.
try looking around.
Well, I do use WASD. I think you can use WASD. I think I remember you can do that.
That's it. That's right.
Yeah, we just need to rotate a few times around the temple until the next cutscene happens.
Now let's learn how to look up and down.
Again, the
You
mouse
move
wheel
your hand to the top or
can
bottom
help
edge
you
of the
with this.
screen until the pitch arrow appears.
mouse wheel is
You
the most
hold down
superior
the move button.
in this
Then
game.
you move the
At least
hand
when it
to
comes
look
to camera
up and
control.
down.
I only very sometimes use the movement tools as
You can
described
also
here.
use the keyboard to pitch.
Yeah,
now
no, I
you
never
have a
use
go.
pitch. Alright,
Splendid!
look up,
Very
look
good,
down.
Sid. You've got the idea.
Yes.
Just keep nodding your head as if you're acknowledging what Whitey is saying.
One.
Oh.
To zoom, you click and hold both the mouse buttons. You move the mouse towards you to zoom out, like this. And you move the mouse away from you to zoom in.
And again, middle mouse button is the best.
Zooming, as you see, is extremely useful. You can also use the keyboard to zoom when you move the mouse.
Ironically, they don't tell you about the mouse wheel
Now
at all.
you try.
I guess at this point of time,
That's it. You've done
the
it.
mouse wheel wasn't
All
really
this
an
moving
invention.
around is giving me a headache. I think we may need to practice
Or at
a
least
bit.
not
we can
in,
go to the God's Playground by pressing F2 on the keyboard at any time.
Sorry, I find it pretty difficult to talk while I'm, while something else
Now
is
we've learned
speaking.
how to move and look, we can help the villagers build the temple.
And this is where we learn that we can help villagers build stuff. But we can't
Let's
really.
take supplies of food and wood from the village store. First, you move the hand over the food or wood like
Yeah,
this.
you've seen this.
pick up
Unfortunately, I
by
can't
pressing
skip
the
it because
action
there's an
button.
animation
The
for it.
longer you hold, the
I
more you
can
pick up.
speed up
You
time,
can
though,
still drag while holding objects.
I think. No? This is not speeding up time at all.
You press
Oh, well.
the action button
You guys
while
might see my
holding an
cursor
object
actually
to drop
appear there
it.
for a few seconds, but... Alright, now we're going to go ahead and get ourselves roughly about 5,000 or 7,000, 7,000 wood. Plop it down here. Wood required 0. Now we just need to wait until our villagers get this building done. We can't... Oh, we can assign them as a builder. Not that that really does anything for us right now. So we're just going to speed up time and wait for this building to be completed. But yeah, this is going to be an entire series on the main story of this game. I will probably go into a skirmish map or some specialized maps every once in a while, just so that I can get a few requisites for some quests down. One of them's actually in this land. But here we have it, a nice, and I don't know what architecture this almost looks Greco-Roman.
At last, the people have finished our temple.
This is the entrance. Click the action button on it to take you inside.
And what a glorious entrance it looks like. And now, this is going to be very TARDIS-like, let me just warn you. As you can see, temple on the inside, out from the outside, meh. But take a look at the grand splendorness when you go inside.
Incredible! The tribe built all this. And to think it's a monument to you as a god.
And us as your conscience, don't forget.
Of
The
course.
workmanship is amazing.
And what a symbol of overwhelming evil.
No, it isn't. Now look, this here must be a map of the whole land.
Yeah, down
What about all
here.
these doors?
Each leads to a room. The rooms are extremely useful.
Let's try some.
Alright, so we have a bunch of rooms here. Save game room, library, future room, the exit room, which is probably my personal favourite to be honest. Game options, creature cave, challenge room, and this scroll here.
Check out all the writing on the scroll, boss.
It's showing lots of information about your followers and your villages.
You can see world room, people living in the world, potential that believe in you, potential to mail. It has some interesting points on it. I like to go to here when I'm starting out, well, very rarely, to see how many disciples I have in the realm. Wonders in your region. If you don't know how many wonders you have, you are probably not paying attention to a lot of things anyway. Total number of sacrifices, that's a fun one if you're evil. Births and death in the region, probably the most important ones here. Buildings might be, you know. But we'll get into the disciples and everything later. Let's take a look at this map quickly. So this map here, this is a map of the entire land. This icon right here that you see, that's my temple. I can toggle that on and off using this. This here are challenges. We don't have any challenges on the map right now, but we'll get them soon enough. Toggle creatures, no creatures yet. Toggle miracle activity, that's basically what miracles are active at the time that you go into this temple. The temple actually freezes time outside while you're in it, so that's good. Not sure how it works in multiplayer. I've never actually played multiplayer black and white. I wish I did, because the AI is freaking stupid. And then you have the influence ring. I mentioned influence ring kind of briefly in the skirmish game that I had played. Let's go into the save game room. I have a little graphical bug in here, but don't be too frightened about it.
This is the room where you save and load the game.
Let's save the game now, boss.
Click on a picture to zoom into it, followed by the yellow arrow pointing at the empty frame.
Uh-huh.
Then type in a save game name. A picture of your land will appear.
Alright.
The details of your save games are shown on this scroll.
The save game scroll.
So according to this, I've already played the save for an hour, which isn't... that's not right. I did load up the game probably an hour ago. But this is the graphical glitch that I mentioned. So if we take a look at this, tells you the dates, the autosave on exit. That was 1453, 6th of January, which was, at the time of this recording, about 4 minutes ago. That was when I created the save. So what we're going to do is we're going to go click down here. We're going to go ahead and save. And we're going to call this one Episode 1 Exploring the Temple. There we go.
To load a game, click on the arrow heading outwards from any frame with a picture.
And click on the red button with a cross on it to delete the game.
This picture here is meant to show you a screen capture from outside. So the last thing you saw when you were outside, it would put this, put that screen on here. But I think there might be something wrong with my file pathing here. Installing this game is actually a bit of a pain for me, because I have a very scratched and ancient disk, which I tried using to install this game on my laptop, but it couldn't read from the disk because it was too scratched. Let's go into the library.
This is the library.
The scrolls contain a whole bunch of useful information.
So, he's actually kind of lying right here. Here are credits for the entire game. There's actually not that many people on this list. There are credits at the end of the game, which have more names in it, but as you can see, story history actually gives you a transcript of what you just said. So, evil conscience, good conscience. Then you have the did you know signs, which are those spinny question mark signs that you'll find outside. Miracle help, villager help, creature help, and we have controls help. Really, I don't need to know any of this stuff, but I might come back in here and take a look at the library. I would like to see what actually goes on these stuff. I did know it at one point before, but I forgot it now. Challenge room. This is going to be a room that I'm never going to use personally, but I'm just going to show it you anyway.
The challenge room.
In here, you can see all the challenges you've started.
You can get information on each challenge by clicking on its picture.
Also, if a challenge is unfinished, press the button underneath the picture to get a reminder.
So, Same thing with the other rooms. We haven't started any challenges yet.
Challenge room scroll. The scroll on the wall gives a list of all the challenges you've started.
I do like the walls in here. I don't think that's in any others. It almost gives it sort of like a Tibetan or almost like an Oriental vibe to it. But of course, then you have these people carving down here, which almost gives it like a Egyptian or Mediterranean feel. It is pretty unique. Future room. We'll go into the future room. They're not going to say anything about the future room because this is actually a defunct room. You see this huge astrolabe here. The future is still uncertain. So what that room is basically for, or was intended to be, was to tell you when new DLC was coming out. They would update this game, you'd download the update from the website, and then the future room changed, but that never happened.
Hey, this one's locked at the moment.
Don't panic. It'll open later when you can use it.
Of course we can't access the creature cave right now because we don't have a creature, but we'll be getting to that in probably the next episode. So here we have a giant, I almost want to say liberty or like a judgment lady here, but it basically just brings up like a menu like that. We can access that by pressing escape at any time. What else do we need? Library, feature room, exit, game options room, creature cave. I think we've seen everything actually. So yeah, let's head on out and take a look around and see what's going on.
Now we have a temple, let's explore. I'm dying to know what these signposts are.
No, there's so much we gotta do. I say we hunt out the gold story scrolls. We'll need these if we're gonna progress through this world. A gold story scroll looks like this.
Clicking on gold story scrolls with the action button will lead you through your quest in Eden. You can activate the scroll or you can explore. It's up to you, leader.
Alright. So there we got a bit of a save. You can see gold story scroll right here. If you press F1 while hovering over something, it'll give you information about it. Gold story scroll. Gee, thanks. And these are the did you know signs that would appear in the library.
You can scroll through some of these info signs to read all the text. Hold the action button on the text and move up or down. Any information you read on one of these is added to the library in the temple.
So did you know every time you activate a gold story scroll, you'll start the next chapter of the story in black and white? How quickly you progress depends on how often you choose to activate them. So it's a pretty laid back game in that sense. The only other way that the game progresses is when you move from one land to another. But we'll get to that. Plant forest by picking up a tree, placing it upright in the ground. If you place a tree in a village, it becomes scenic addition and will please the people. Foresters will not cut these down. So in my skirmish, I had a moment of realization that if you plant a tree and it gives you a green cloud poof like that, then that means that it can grow, right? But if you go ahead and you plant it down in here, you don't see that green spleef because it's within the village area, right? But it turns out that trees can still grow if you water them when they haven't got this green sploof. That absolutely blew my mind. I think this will go up after that episode. Yeah, I'm planning on releasing all the episodes of that first. But let's take a look at some of these other scrolls. You can press N to show the names of the tribespeople. This can make tracking their movement easier. But unfortunately not everybody has a name. As you can see, only 4 people here have a name. And we have a village of... wow, that's a lot to believe. A village of 48 people here. You'd want to press S if you want to figure out where everyone's all going. If you see a house with smoke coming out of it, it's occupied. To eject these occupants, tap the house. Just like that. And these symbols are how many people live there. You can see right here, there's 3 yellow and 1 green. Excuse me. The 3 yellow mean 3 people live here, 1 green means that there's 1 more space. Placing a man or woman next to somebody of the opposite sex turns them into a disciple breeder, whose only goal is to breed and produce children. So let's go ahead and grab a dude. Sorry, you're not a dude. Didn't mean to insult your appearance. But there we go, we got a breeder. Now he'll go around impregnating all the single ladies. and maybe not so single ladies. And here we have the village store. It contains wood, food, whatever, everything else, you know. And these desire flags show you what the people want. You can press F1 over them to have these guys come over and tell you what's going on. So the heart means how much people desire children. Current desire population is 46, and then over here we have the desire for food. This here is the creche, which I figured out how to pronounce because I used a Google pronunciation guide. Let's see if we can find any more did you know signs. If you have a graveyard, tribes people won't mourn people when they die and they'll get on with their lives instead. There are a lot of signs here. So fields where your people plant crops which are then harvested. You can also make dedicated farm disciples by placing them in the fields. So what we're going to do to finish this episode up is we're going to go ahead and
Look, a silver reward scroll. Let's see what it means.
Yeah, silver ones ain't as vital as the gold ones, but we can still check them out.
We're going to go ahead and do this scroll. But before that, let's take a look at this. Silver reward scrolls, not as vital, so you don't have to do them if you don't want to, but there are often rewards available if you complete them.
Okay, let's get our projectile skills up to scratch.
What do you suggest? I presume it involves killing?
No, not at all. I was going to propose,
I know. Let's see if we can hit that pillar over there. It's a test of our godly powers, and nobody gets hurt.
How nice. And I guess we use this everlasting pile of stones.
Handy that.
Now we're going to have a bit of a tutorial
Move
of
your
how to
hand
throw stuff.
over a rock. Press the action button until the rock is in your hand. Hold down the action button. Put momentum on the throw by moving the hand in the correct direction. Throw the rock by releasing the action button. Try throwing a rock now.
I always find it funny how they can fail that. Let's see if we can catch this rock.
Oh, now that was
Yeah,
close.
we caught the rock. And we just go ahead and we throw it. Oops. We go ahead and we throw it like that. We missed. Oh, well, let's grab the rock
now
again
that was close.
and try again. Oh, man.
Oh, now that was close.
There we go. That should hit.
You hit it.
Excellent.
Marvelous.
Neat, boss. You're really gonna do damage with this skill later.
Ooh, we've been given a chest. I wonder if there's anything in it.
Yeah, click the action button on it to open it.
F1 tells us that this is just a reward. We go ahead and open it. We get a toy ball.
I say, a toy ball. Now, click on the contents to activate them.
We can't really do much with this toy ball unless you really enjoy just throwing a toy ball around. It actually has some pretty nice physics to it, and it doesn't actually harm anything. You can throw it into... Oops, didn't mean to enter there. You can actually throw it into people. I think it might damage them, so let's go ahead and drop that. So this lady here is 89. Oh, she fled from it. She's... Yeah, that didn't deal any damage to her. And if you throw it hard against the building, it also won't damage it. Even though you hear the sound of it, it doesn't really do anything to the building. So what we're going to do with this, and that's a tree, not the ball. What we're going to do with this ball is we're just going to go ahead and put it down over here. Go ahead and tap this. You press spacebar to put your camera into a safe position. Press it again and returns you to your temple. Pressing it once more returns you to your original position. I don't know what they mean by placing you in a safe position, so I press spacebar. Take me straight to my temple, actually. So let's see. Spacebar, no? Maybe there are no safe positions around here? I don't understand what they mean by safe position, but oh well. Why did it take me over here? Is this a safe spot? Huh, beats me. But yeah, I think that'll do it for this first episode, so thank you guys for joining me. I'll be recording a few more of these in succession. Hope you guys have a great and lovely day.